Well, good morning and thank you for joining us on this last October half term of 2021. We are going to the Malvern Hills Caravan and Motorhome Club, which we've never been to before. And as you can see, it's only an hour and 17 minutes away. And I don't mind saying I've had quite a busy day at work today, so I'm quite tired. Well, this whole area is an area of outstanding natural beauty. So yeah, we thought we'd pin this one down for our week and give it a try. So only one junction on the M50, and even at this time of night it's empty, which is really good. I like those. And then cross country 20 minutes and then we're there. What I wasn't expecting though was for both clubs to be on the same patch of ground. So looking from the air, we are looking at the Caravan and Motorhome Club. And as I spin round to the right, you'll see the Malvern Hills in the distance, but also looking down, you'll see this is actually quite a big club site, split over 3 tiers.
Between these two sites is an area used by the Girl Guide Association, which you're not really supposed to go and visit, but we had a sneaky look. And then you're moving round to the Caravan and Camping Club site known as Blackmore. Back to our site now. And as you can see down the end of the site, follow the arrow, you will find the pathway which leads to a small wooded area, which is the dog walk. There are several circuits around this dog walk, very short or slightly less short, and around it is private land. Once again back to our site, and we're making a choice to have a pitch in the middle of the site. We've got Jess with us, we need Wi-Fi, we don't want to be around trees. That's confusing. We have to film this. There's a Caravan and Camping Club there. We've got to go left down here, haven't we?
Yeah, I bet that was cheaper. How bizarre.
Yeah, it is bizarre.
Do you know what was funny? And all the years we've been doing this, we've typically used Caravan and Motorhome Club sites anyway to book, but this is the only one that's bothered to actually ring us to say you actually haven't turned up at the time you said you would when you booked. So, having apologised, we make our way down to the second tier where we can get set up before it gets too dark. And so we just pick our pitch, get reversed back onto it. I'm not worried about exactness and all that stuff. We're just going to use the motor movers as we have them. That's why we bought them in the first place. Put the caravan in the right place, put the lock on it, and away we go.
I've had to resort to using this microphone because, as you might hear in the background, one of the wardens is hoovering up the leaves in the autumn. In October, a bit of a thankless task, but he must be really bored. If it's not cutting the grass, it's blowing the leaves, isn't it? So anyway. Not much chance of doing any work though, is there? No, if you were here trying to work, well, Wi-Fi's crap anyway, but if you were here trying to work, you can have that in the background. Anyway, it's Saturday morning, you can see we're here. We came last night, it was getting dark, so we got the tent with all of our bits and pieces in. And all we did was use the motor movers to move the caravan into position, level it, put on one lock, and then we're ready and we'll be putting up the awning later today.
For speed, lay your poles out first. Put the awning on at the front because it will just slide back down at the back. Put up the shell and then you can build it from the inside out at your leisure should it rain. Of course, as my dad used to say to me, attention to detail, my son, attention to detail. So on to Wi-Fi and mobile phone signal. Now, if you look at the reviews, they were stating that it wasn't particularly brilliant. However, I thought, man, this might be okay because we're on 3 different mobile phones with 3 different carriers. We had 1 bar of 4G, which was the best, dipping down to what somebody was on 3G, and then my Fiona actually had Edge on her Vodafone contract. So all in all was pretty poor. Now, pretty poor to non-existent. On the MiFi device that we have, with the aerial on the back of the caravan, we were able to get 2 bars of 4G. Now, as I've alluded to in my previous videos, and I'll put them at the end here so you can just click on them, signal strength and speed of bandwidth are not the same. So even though you got 1 bar of 4G, you might be only getting 3 meg of upload speed. And if you're on a higher signal strength, you might be getting exactly the same. It all depends on what you're being provided with. Now, I was hoping that the Caravan Club, knowing that the mobile signal is really bad here, that what we'll do is we'll make sure that our Wi-Fi speeds are really, really good. But they don't do that. In fact, I was able to get onto the other club's Wi-Fi network as well because I happened to know the password, and that was equally as atrocious. I think it's fair to say that both clubs need to be aware that you can actually work from anywhere now, and so long as you've got good Wi-Fi signal and speed, then you'll be able to do this. I mean, trying to run a Zoom or anything like that on this is not going to happen. So please be aware, you're missing out on revenue.
Doors. It's got doors. Showers with a shelf and hooks. Even the non-disabled.
Now, David said to me, have you seen what she's looking at? And yes, that is a cat on a lead tethered to the ground. Nightmare. But I just love autumn. All the colour changing of the leaves, just fabulous. Even Jess didn't really know what to do with herself. Just so much to see him do everywhere she looked. For example, did you see a squirrel? I'm sure I saw a squirrel. Is it up there? No, maybe it's over there. And berries all over the place. You can see that there's one rodent, look, has decided to collect some berries and take them back. And what they do is they hide them in the trees. There's lots of them. Just put them in the middle of the trees and then obviously collect them later. And then there's loads of mushrooms and stuff all the way around the place. Mind you, we had to keep away from that because you don't know whether they're eating ones or not, or very poisonous. Well, I'm not that way inclined. But if you got kids, there is a bit of a downside. The play area here obviously has a problem where it was all fenced off. What was it? Awaiting repair. Yeah, well. Now in the morning, after a bit of rain that we had last night, you got this tremendous looking rainbow look. It's all the way over, so I'm wondering if there's any treasure to be had in that forest.
It does say you're supposed to keep your dogs on lead. I don't think you need to bother with that. See if you go the short way, come that way.
No, it's long way here. It's only about 20 yards longer. Oh. She could go that way. Or she could go this way. Which way will she choose? Steve. Picture frame tree. And on the Saturday night we headed over into Gloucestershire to Hatherley Manor for a special business do. It was with the Single Mums Business Network that I've supported for some time, and they had an awards night. And guess what? I won an award for kindness.
And so our first adventure takes us to Malvern town itself, or Great Malvern. But before we do that...
What are you looking at, Jess?
Yeah, Jess takes liberties in the caravan, you see, that she wouldn't at home. So ready? Let's just see. So she's come to sit by me because I've got toast.
looking?
She's thinking, isn't she, shall I? Shan't I?
Looking over the lips have started, yes.
And she does that. I'm looking but not looking. Me. Not looking, not looking. Oh.
What are you doing, Jess?
Right, Jess? And just to let you know, I do wear sneaky Crocs. And this is a lovely little artisan shop in Great Malvern, which I browsed around for ages and I may have bought some stuff. And then we headed off for lunch. And look at this, I've got my hot chocolate. And we think this is some kind of bamboo or cardboard.
I think that's cardboard.
Yeah,
I've got one as well, but I think that's cardboard.
There's a little mug, and with that, hold it in place there. A little,
See, that's quite light.
very, yeah. I'm going to ask about it. I like them. I think it's like it's a right-on recycled, greeny, vegan-y cafe. So
Yes.
it's in keeping.
Yes. Do you not think that's a bit of a step up from an old cup and saucer then? I think
yeah.
that's quite nice.
Yeah, because it doesn't roll around. Nice. It's good. Sadly, though, for me, it was downhill from then. We had a fry-up that involved herby potatoes and odd baked beans, and for me, it was all a bit bleh. But at least we went on to find a lovely, interesting arty shop. And on another day, we did a lightning visit to Ross-on-Wye. We have visited this place before, and they seem to have an obsession with knitting for some reason. But a lovely little town. On another day, we visited Worcester, and we haven't been there before, but we got rather waylaid by a strange, watery, fountainy thing down by the river, and enjoyed showing it to Jess, who, you know, on her best days really, really loves a water feature. Or not. Extraordinarily, Worcester seems to have more than its fair share of these big white birds. We've never seen as many swans.
I think they're all in Worcester, aren't they?
Must be. And to round off this lovely day, we found a really lovely dog-friendly cafe with this time a proper fry-up. Please like, subscribe and hit the little bell.
And we'll see you next time.